y'all. How are you? It's that time of year, isn't it? When everybody gets all thankful for the little things. You know, this is my favorite time of year because that's when you don't have to do nothing but eat and be thankful. Now, there's nothing better than that, is there? I can't think of a thing that's better than being thankful every day. But for some reason, we have a day designated for being thankful, don't we? And you know, I am a birthday girl in this month. And I like Thanksgiving because sometimes it hit on my birthday. Well, it doesn't this year, but that's all right. I'll still eat that pie, and I'll make my son one of them cherry cheesecakes like he likes, and we'll just have us a good meal. One year I had the most fun. It was kind of naughty, but I did it anyway. See, I was raised in the country. I knew what chickens looked like and turkeys looked like. I knew what guineas were. They're the loudest things in the world, let me tell you. They make this loud honking squeaking noise that if something's around, they're the best watchdog you can have, but it's a guinea. I want you to know they let you know if something's up in the barnyard. So I knew what animals were like and the sex and what they looked like and the males and the females, right? Well, this particular year, my youngest daughter was just a teenager, and she never lived on a farm. She didn't even know what a cow was for a long time. She asked me what the hangy-down thingies were under the cow. Well, it was her udders and, you know, her teats. But she'd never seen them before, and she thought that was just disgusting, you know. I said, that's where your milk comes from, honey. I don't think she ever liked milk much after that. But anyway, that's the difference in being raised on a farm and not. We had to do what we had to do, right? She'd never known nothing. Well, here we get this turkey. It finally got thawed out. You know, that is a wonderful thing when your turkey's finally thawed. Hallelujah, now you don't have to worry that it won't be, right? All right. Well, anyway, so here the neck comes out and I go, I'm going to play a trick. So I just laid that neck up on that turkey belly. And I talked real loud and I said, uh-oh, our turkey's going to be tough this year. We got us a male turkey. And my daughter and her friend came out of the bedroom and they saw that neck laying on that belly of that turkey and they went, oh, that's gross. It was all I could do to keep from laughing in their face. I let them stew about that for some time till I told them it was the neck and not to worry. It's not a male turkey. At least I don't think it was. It said it was a turkey hen on the package. So anyway, that was my joke that year. But one time the joke was on me. I wasn't real good at making dressing because I didn't really like dressing, but my husband liked dressing and these people like dressing, and so we used to all congregate over at my mother's house on Thanksgiving, and Lord did we have a crowd, because I'll tell you what, I was the oldest of 9 kids, and you figure they get a husband or a wife, all of us, and then we get a few kids, some of us 4, and you all congregate in there, and then some of your kids get married and they have kids. Lord, it can be a big old assembly line, let me tell you. Food, people wanting their food, okay? You didn't want to be on the end of the line in my house because that green bean casserole might be gone by the time you get up there, you know what I mean? Okay, well anyway, so I decided I'd make this dressing, right? Well, it said to cook it for an hour and a half. Somebody done made a mistake on that recipe. I cooked it for an hour and a half, right? It didn't look burnt or nothing. So I took it over there, and we're all in our assembly line, and I was watching the first person try to stick their spoon in my dressing was my little brother Pat, and he tried to stick his spoon in that dressing. Boom. and it just kind of bounced right off. And he went about 2 times, and then he just kind of laid that spoon down and kept on going. I went, oh my Lord, my dressing is petrified. He didn't get eaten that year. I'm glad nobody dropped it on their foot throwing it away either. That was bad. But that's not what I want to talk about anyway. I want to talk about something that a friend of mine was talking about just the other day, and that's fishing. You might have been fishing in your life, you might not have, but I happened to marry a guy that loved to fish. In fact, he started a Bassmasters organization right after we got married down there in East Texas, and I think he was the president of it, by the way. But anyway, he was always going to these bass tournaments, and he was good. He got lots of trophies that are stuffed in the closet, in a box. Too bad, ain't it? Where do your trophies go? There's a time for trophies, and then there's a time for no trophies. Well, anyway, that's what happened to them. They're here, though. They're not in the dump. And I'm proud of him. So anyway, when we first got married, you couldn't separate us. You couldn't put a butter knife between us. We loved each other so much. And so he'd take me everywhere. Fishing was his favorite thing, so fishing's where we went, right? So we moved up to Arkansas, and my brother Paul wanted to take us limb lining. I'd never heard of nothing like that in my life. Well, so we went limb lining, okay? Now, if you don't know what that is, you put this line on a limb hanging over the river, and you have a hook on it and some bait, and you just have it down in there. And when a fish gets on it, when you come back later, you'll know, because that limb will be flopping like this. And you go over there and get your fish off, right? So I love going fishing with them, except for one time. They were diehard fishermen. Anybody watching this that loves to fish, it don't matter whether it's hail, wind, rain, snow, or whatever. You're going fishing, right? You're going to fish because the fish are going to need to eat anyway. And if they're biting, you're going. Okay, we got my brother and my husband got an idea to go fishing. And it was about 25 degrees. But they had this lake that they went to, and it was warm water fed, and it had lots of fish in it. And so they were going to go get on that place, and they were going to put their boat in, and they were going to go fishing. And so I said, well, I want to go. I wasn't about to let them go without me. So we went. Now, back then, my husband drank beer, and so did my brother, so they put the cooler in the back by me, right? And they said, you need to drink one to stay warm, or you'll freeze your butt off out here, girl. Well, I don't remember if I did or not. I think I probably did. I couldn't drink many beers now. I don't do good on beer, girls and guys. I don't drink it. Nothing no more. It's just not a good thing for Sassy to do, let me tell you. So I said I just got better things to do than stagger around and puke everywhere. Okay, that's all I'm going to say about that. But anyway, here I am sitting in the back of the boat, and I'm about to freeze my butt off. It's freezing, and I'm thinking, my Lord, have mercy. These boys are tough dudes now. Well, we were all bundled up and everything. But I'm sitting back there in the back of the boat, passing them a beer when they run out of one. And I'm looking at their lines in the water, and they got little icicles hanging off the lines. Icicles, I'm telling you. And I want you to know something. As soon as they caught a fish and they jerked it out of the water, it was instant frozen when it hit that air. I mean, frozen stiff. I thought, my gosh, this is kind of weird. But anyway, I finally get so cold. I have my jacket up over my head like this. And I'd unbutton it every once in a while and said, is it time to go home yet? Well, let me tell you, I never did go with them again unless it was perfect temperatures. Well, my husband and I moved back to East Texas for a while, and he took me fishing in a place that he just always went fishing in, whether it was daylight or dark. He knew it like the back of his hand. He knew every crook and cranny of that little lake, and so he wanted to take me one night, right? So I went with him one night, and we're in that boat, and we're on that water for a long time. And it's dark, y'all, unless you got the spotlight on. And you can see lights on the shore. And that kind of makes you have a warm feeling like, well, at least you're not lost, you know. But anyway, I was just talking to him because I got tired of fishing and not catching something. But he's a diehard fisherman. He's going to keep on going, right? So he is just running back and forth to the front of the boat and the back of the boat. And I don't know what he's doing because I'm just looking around, and I finally said, honey, that light up there on the shore hadn't moved in a long time. And he goes, that's because we've been hung up on an underwater log for 20 minutes. Lord have mercy, that scared me to death. And if that wasn't enough, he goes, I want you to take that spotlight and I want you to climb up on the front of that boat on your belly. And I want you to shine that spotlight in the water. Because once we get off of here, I want you to tell me which way to go. Because we're in a bunch of underwater trees and we are stuck, girl. And I'm going, Lord, I happen to know there's alligators in East Texas. And I'm going, I ain't going swimming to the shore with alligators in it. I was terrified. And on top of that, he says, hang on, because if we hit one of them underwater trees, you might get thrown off in the water. Oh, Lord have mercy. I want y'all to know, Sassy didn't let go. She hung on. She wasn't going to let go for nothing. But I wasn't getting in that water, y'all. It looked worse than a horror movie down in there. I could see all the way down past the trees into the dark. And I just pictured some ugly creature from the outer spaces that had landed in the water to come up and grab me and throw me in. I was freaking out, but I didn't let him know that. I just kept telling him, go to the left, just a little more. Go, oh, just turn here a little bit. Whoa, hurry up, you're gonna hit it. We finally finagled our way and wound our way through all them trees, and I was never so happy to get on land. Well, he took me fishing when we moved back finally for the last time to Arkansas, and I went with him. And I was just casting my reel one day, and it was a new one, and I just was learning how. I wasn't too good at it, y'all. I was always backlashing and having to untangle everything. But anyway, this day I thought I'm going to get it way out there, and I went wham, and when I did, his hat comes flying off the end of my rod and reel on that hook. I was afraid to turn around. I thought I'd ripped his nose done off his face. I turned around and he just goes, you need to be careful when you're casting. You almost hooked me. Man, I felt like an idiot. But anyway, everything was fine. I didn't cut his nose off or nothing. And he didn't get upset. But there was one time he did get upset. We went in the summer. You know when those bugs are going and they just don't stop and they just keep going. Yeah, it was that kind of day, and it was sweaty. My armpits were sweating, and I done put on my antiperspirant, but it didn't keep me from perspiring. I was perspiring now. That's hard to say, perspiring. But anyway, we went, right? Well, this red wasp got after me, and I want you to know I don't like bugs. Have I mentioned that before? I don't like bugs. Well, this wasp was determined to sting me. It wanted to sting. That sucker wanted to hurt me. It was armed and ready, had its butt aimed at me, and I had nothing in my hand but my husband's brand new rod and reel. So I started doing this with it, and I'm a-whipping it and a-whipping it and a-whipping it, trying to kill that wasp, and my husband starts hollering, "Don't break my rod! Don't break my rod! Oh my gosh! Don't break my rod!" Oh, I finally heard him about the third time. Thank God I didn't break his rod. It probably would have been time to get a divorce before we even lived together very long. Ladies, I don't know about you, but I don't like those night crawler worms. Do y'all know what I'm talking about? They're these worms, but they ain't like they used to be that I used to dig out on the north side of my house in the soft dirt to go fishing and put in a can. They was tough suckers, let me tell you. They were earthworms on steroids 100 times. That's all I got to say about it. First time my husband got them night crawlers, he pulled one out and it's about a foot long. At least it looked like it was a foot long. And it was like it was trying to attack him. Now I know that they don't have teeth, right? But they looked like they wanted to have teeth, and they just freaked me out. I went in there to get one that's going, and I'm freaking out going, "Oh, Lord, I cannot put this ugly thing on the hook. It's trying to bite me." And my husband's going, "It's not going to bite you, hon. Just put it on the hook." "No, I can't do it. I can't do it." But he said, "Just go ahead, hon. You can do it. Come on, baby." Okay, well, I go and I say, "All right, I got you, sucker." He showed me where to hook it. So I go to stick it, and it goes, and it's just shaking everywhere. And I dropped it, and I said, "Oh my God, if I have to fish with these, I want to go home. I don't ever going to go fishing again. This is like trying to hook a snake. I'm not doing it." So that's when my husband hooked it on there for me. And I didn't feel bad. I was throwing it in the water and it's going to drown. Even though it didn't drown. But, I didn't care if fish was going to eat it or bite it in half or whatever and nibble on it and chew on it for a snack. It was vicious. I don't know what they're feeding them earthworms that they're raising, but they ain't normal. Just like a bunch of other things ain't normal in this world. But you know what? I'm thankful that I am. And I'm thankful that you are. And I'm thankful we can just talk about some of our silly experiences together and hopefully connect that way. Maybe you went fishing and you didn't like it, or you got hung up on a tree. You ain't there now. That's something to be thankful for. I didn't have to go swim to shore and fear for my life that I'd lose a leg or an arm or my head. Well, hallelujah, I'm okay. Now, y'all, this is probably going to be maybe my last video until Thanksgiving. I got a lot to do, y'all. Hopefully, I won't get a male turkey this time. I've got some grandkids that haven't ever lived on a farm. I think I might have some fooling going on, but I'll tell you this. My youngest daughter's making the dressing this year, and I'm a little relieved. I'm going to stick to my pies and my fruit salad and just cook the turkey, whether it's a male or female, and it's going to be all right, y'all. Have a happy Thanksgiving. Be thankful. At least you're walking and a talking. At least you got a brain. There's a lot of people out there that don't have one nowadays. Okay, take care, y'all. Everything's gonna be all right. Bye-bye. Well, I decided to come back on for a minute because I thought of something that y'all really need to hear about. This is a true story about angel intervention. Now, this ain't really funny, but it's something I wanted to talk about because it has to do with fishing and it has to do with intervention by God in a bad situation. I quit going fishing with my husband as much when my girls got older because they always liked to go fishing with him, and that was fine with me because I done had my feel of it by then. My husband's sort of OCD, and when he gets where he likes something, he overdoes it to me, and I just don't want to go all the time, you know. I'm kind of like variety, but anyway, I wanted to talk about when my girls were about, I'd say between 10, 8, 7, 6, something like that. They were little, okay? Probably more like 8 and 6 or 5. They went with their daddy to City Lake one afternoon, and they were going to be home around supper time. Well, I went home and I was cooking the supper, right? I was making them supper like I always did every night. I know y'all call it dinner, but I call it supper. I'm from the South. It's supper, okay? If you don't like that, too bad. Okay, anyway, I'm being silly. So anyway, they went that day. He took his little truck down there. The girls were with him. They were happy. They were going to get in a boat and get on City Lake and do some fishing, right? Well, I got my supper ready. And I sat down. I said, well, I'm going to go ahead and eat mine. They'll be here in a minute. I went and sat and took about 2 bites, y'all. And before I realized what my body was doing, I was already at the dining table putting my plate down and grabbing my purse and keys. And then my mind catches up and I'm going, where am I going? And I heard this voice say, they're all right, just get down there. I knew something was up and I needed to get down there where they were fishing. So I got in the car and I'm kind of going over the speed limit, and that voice, I feel this presence in the seat beside me so real. I just knew if I looked over he'd be there. I knew it was an angel. And anyway, I heard again, just almost audible. You don't have to speed. They're all right. Just get down there. By now, it's pretty much dark. I had to turn on my lights. And it's a windy road down to this little lake. You go over a hill and you come down and your lights shine right where you pull off into the road from the lake. And there in the middle of my road, and flashing in front of my headlights, was my little girl's faces turned around backwards, looking out the back glass of my husband's pickup truck, staring at me driving up there. And I see my husband trying to pick his boat up that done slid off the trailer in the middle of the road. Now, this was a dangerous situation because people coming the other way wouldn't be able to see him in time and would slam right into them. I came up there and my husband was frantic. He said, please shine this light. Shine the light so anybody coming will see us. And I just got in position and I just got my lights aimed on him and a car came around that corner. Well, it saw him and stopped. He got the boat up on the trailer, got it secured, and everything was all right. But when we got home, my little girls got out of the truck and they ran to me and they said, oh, Mama, you're our angel. And I said, what do you mean, hon? What do you mean I'm your angel? We was praying that God would send an angel to come and help him so he could get his boat back on that trailer. And then we see these headlights coming over the hill, and it was you, Mama. You're an angel. And then I got to tell my side of the story. Let me tell you, I have no doubt whatsoever that God did send an angel, but it wasn't me. It was my co-passenger here in the car with me. It was the one that caused me to get up for my mind even caught up with what I was doing and got my keys and purse and got down there in the nick of time. No telling what kind of finagling God did to fix it to where my family was saved. But I'm just going to say one more thing, y'all. I'm very thankful. God bless you. Remember, you might be entertaining angels unawares. God loves you. Do you know him? Jesus died for you so you could live forever in a happy place with him. He's coming soon. Get ready, y'all. Everything's going to be all right. Especially if you have Jesus. Bye-bye.